So on my end, it shows that we are now streaming. So we thank God for that. Yeah, today is the day that the Lord has made, and we'll always be grateful. It's been a while since I did Chasing Courage because, well, busy year, a lot of adjustments after 2020. And so this is great for me. I feel so nice that we are here so that we are able to learn from you, Wanjiru. So for those who don't know what Chasing Courage is just a forum where moms come and share their stories and even share education. Sometimes it's expertise. We have ladies who have come and shared their expertise. We have those who've shared their warrior mom stories like Wanjiru is going to do for us today. And just in case you have not watched any of the other Chasing Courage conversations, you will find all of them on YouTube. Just type Werimo Kanyi, it should take you to my Unashamedly Odd page, and then you can watch all the others, because it's ordinary moms like you and me who just decided to take a step of faith, even when they didn't know what's on the other side of that step. And so that's why I invite moms so that they share those stories of just stepping up, trying to go into uncertain areas, just so that, because they want to pursue something that is so important to them. And so I'm trying to check if we are gone live on the page. Yeah, God help us that that we are live. The other day when I tried to do the live, it went to the wrong posts, the wrong page. So yeah, we pray against all hope that we are live in the right page today. But even as we try to find out where we are, allow me to share my PowerPoint just to welcome everybody so that they are sure that they're in the right place. So welcome to Chasing Courage. Today, Wanjiru Nderitu'S is sharing her story of how she was able to redesign her life. And she decided that while she was great being a stay-at-home mom, and there were still parts of her that felt unfulfilled. And so she took steps of faith, and she'll explain all those. Why did she decide to pursue something different from what she was used to for years, and what it means to find her why, and how she's pursuing it up until this time. So wherever you are, if you're in my personal page, I'll let you know where we are streaming in a short time, but not to worry. Yes, welcome to Chasing Courage. Thank you for all those ladies who are joining us here live on Zoom. Karibu sana. What I always do is I always share a verse so that we can be able to just invite the Lord into this conversation. And our verse for today is Psalms 32 verse 8. And it says, I will instruct you, says the Lord, and guide you along the best pathway for your life. Sorry for the earth that's missing. For your life, I will advise you and watch your progress. And basically what I want to encourage the moms who are here live with me, those who are going to watch wherever we are streaming. I'm still yet to see where we are streaming. And those who are going to watch the replays, I just want to say this and to encourage you that when you give over your life to the Lord, He instructs you in the right way and in the right path. I think I've shared that a lot. And He not only just says, go here, He gives you a stirring and a nudging in your heart. That's how you know that you're in the path and plan of God. But He gives you understanding. He gives you that peace that helps you understand, oh, this is the right direction that I'm supposed to follow. There's a big word that says there. Have you seen? There are two of them. I will. God says He'll do it by Himself. I will instruct you. I will advise you. So you don't have to fear, because it's a promise. When God says, I will, it's a promise. And so if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling confused, if you're feeling uncertain, if you're feeling afraid, God says He will, Himself, He will personally instruct you. And sometimes talks like this, Chasing Courage, where you hear Wanjiru's story, or all the other ladies who have stepped up and shared their pain to power stories. When they come here, you're like, oh, wow, if that's what God did for Wanjiru, then you can do it for me, God, as well. So, and God's path always leads to blessing, even if He's asking you to do something that you're afraid to do, something that's hard for you to step up. it will always be attached to a blessing. So sometimes he needs us to step out in faith and trusting him. That's why he's promising that he will be there with you. More than that, he will be close to you and he will protect you throughout the journey. Even when you're afraid, just know God is there. He's sorting you out in what you are doing. So my encouragement to you, even as we begin chasing courage, is you and I need to set our minds on God so that we don't miss his leading. Sometimes we say, I can't feel God, I can't hear God, but it's probably because we're not seeking him out and we are not being still to hear that small silent voice. And sometimes it comes through sermons, it comes through talks like this one, comes through a friend who sends a text or a forward. Be on the lookout because God's voice is everywhere. So let's pray so that we can begin our conversation. So let's pray. Father, in Jesus' name, we just want to come before you this Wednesday afternoon, thanking you, God, for allowing us to see this day, waking us up, allowing us to start the activities of the day, and even now setting aside time just to hear how you used Wanjiru to powerfully demonstrate your presence, dear God. Thank you for encouraging us that you will instruct us, that you will advise us on the right path to follow. And even as we hear Wanjiru's story, we just want to thank you for the path that you've taken her through. Thank you for all the obstacles that together with her, you've been able to jump through, you've been able to move. Thank you that even though in her moment of pain, she felt maybe lost, confused, uncertain, that Father, she's here to speak of your goodness. She's here to speak of the powerful blessings over her life. And so we just thank you, pray for the internet, on all the ladies and gentlemen who are showing up to listen to her conversation. We pray that you keep us safe, pray that you allow the electricity to stay on in all our homes. We pray for those who will watch the replay, that they get the freshness of the conversation like they were here. So we just thank you, God, and we release ourselves. Each of us will get a different message, but still encourage us, instruct us, guide us on the right path and plan to follow. We pray all this, believing and trusting in your mighty, mighty name. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen and amen. Well, still trying to see where we are live. I'll do that as Wanjiru starts talking. But I want to just, for those who are new to me, because I know Wanjiru has brought her friends, her family. My name is Wairimu, the Audacity Mentor. And really what I do is just help my clients who are mostly mothers to just discover their odd factor. I'm a wife and a mom of 3. I'm a Christian-based mom mindset and life mentor. I'm an encourager. That's my spiritual gift. And I'm the founder and lead mentor at the Audacity Mentoring Services and also the Audacious Mom School, which is an online school for moms. And I'll show you how you can find it. And also an author. My book should be coming out anytime, maybe October, God willing, if plans go according to the way I'm hoping. So I work with which type of moms, because again, we are not called to serve everybody. So the moms that the Lord has called me to serve are moms who are prioritizing their own personal growth or the growth of their business or personal brands, so that they design a life they desire and that God approves without compromising their faith or family. And for those who've been in my circle for a while and heard my story, which I openly share, I've been running a business for 23 years and it was Christian-based as well. It was a kindergarten school, and God was faithful. So sometimes we assume that business has to be run in the wrong way. And are there temptations and trials? Many, 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 many. The world is not kind, and especially to somebody who wants to do things with integrity. But at the end of the day, when you stand before the Lord and he tells you, this is what I gave you, have you used it the way I gave it to you? You'll have to say yes or no. So the best thing is to just tell God to lead you in the place where he has called you. We've read in today's verse that he will guide you, he will instruct you, he will advise you. So don't worry. And is that something that you want to pursue, I would encourage you to reach out. I promise that I have the Audacious Mom School, and I have a free masterclass out there. If you know you're stuck, you don't know where to begin to organize your life, this is a nice place to go. You just go to www.theaudacitymentor.com. Under construction still, but you'll see a link that will lead you to the Mom School. Yeah, and you learn 3 strategies and 7 steps to design your next personal growth life move. If you're a mom, you don't know if this is something that you need for yourself, there's a free masterclass that you can attend. Just go to the www.theaudacitymentor.com, and you're going to see other things that are coming up soon, but look out for the one that says Life Redesign Starter Kit Masterclass. That's the one that you need to register. Take 40 minutes, so you have to have 40 minutes free time, mom, and watch it. And hopefully, if you need any questions, we can begin a conversation from there. And in case you just want to follow me and have and see what it is we are doing, when is the next Chasing Courage, when is the next talk, I do a lot of verses or a lot of encouraging conversations. So you can just also follow me on Facebook as well. I'm both the Audacity Mentor on Facebook and Instagram. And if you just want to write a message directly to me, especially after today's conversation, you feel encouraged, you can write to me at wairimo@theaudacitymentor.com. So at the end of the day, we're just here to help each other, work with each other, and see how God can bless us and become better versions of yourself. So thank you so much for the ladies I am with here today. And I can't wait, Wanjiru, to hear your story. Wanjiru was, we started working with Wanjiru a while ago, and she'll tell you where we met and why she took that step of faith. And Wanjiru, you're there?
Yes, I am.
Oh, good. Yeah, so that we can hear your story. But more than that, you two are a wife and mom, isn't it? You're a wife and mom, and you'll tell us about your children, your family, and your powerful story of transformation. What I want to say is, at the end of the day, you also have an inspiring personal growth journey you've gone through, but there's a moment you sat down and said, I want this for myself. So you're going to tell us that. When I met with you the first time, you said 2 things. You want to be a CEO one day, and you want to be a motivational speaker one day, isn't it? Yeah. So I can't wait to hear, are you there yet? And what's remaining if you're not there yet? Yeah. So we can't see you clearly. I'm hoping, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Is it better now?
Let's see. You're a little frozen. Are you unmuted though?
Yes, okay. Yes, I'm unmuted. Okay. Is it okay now?
Yeah, I think you're okay. You want to try maybe just saying hello, and then I'll tell you.
Hi. Is it audible enough?
There's a little echo, but I think you can be able to talk.
Okay, let me just, is it better now?
We can hear you. Yeah, right, okay. Ladies. I think let me just confirm with the ladies who are here. Are you able to hear Wanjiru? Well, anybody can just let us know. Anybody who is in, there's Lona and W. Gadoni, Wanjiko, Betsy. Are you hearing Wanjiru well?
I can hear her, but she's freezing.
Freezing a bit.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. There's a bit of a network issue here.
Okay.
But I'm really hoping and praying that we'll just do this without a lot of hitches.
Yeah. Are you? Is your door open?
Yeah, I think. Yes, I have closed it now.
Okay. We'll see if that will help in, because it's important. We don't want to miss any part of your story.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think you can just begin, and if there's any freezing or anything, I'll let you know. So go ahead.
So, hi, ladies and gentlemen. As Wairimo has told you, my name is Wanjiru Nderitu'S. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, and a boss. I have been blessed with 2 little girls. My firstborn is 4, my second is 2. They're called Ruby and Lulu. And my life has been quite interesting, which you're going to find out later about it. So let me just take you back to when I met Wairimo. It was on a Wednesday, Thursday.
Go ahead.
Is okay. It was on a Wednesday, Thursday. I really can't tell. But I was just in my house flipping through channels, and I happened to land on one GBS TV. They were talking about redefining your life after 40, and I listened to Wairimu's story about now she was hitting 40, and she felt stuck. She felt like she needs to make some changes in her life. And I told myself, wow, I kind of resonate with this lady because, yeah, I might not be 40. I was very young at the time. I got married young by choice. I was about 22, 23 at the time. So I told myself, I am going to look for this woman. I'm going to find her and I'm going to talk to her because I felt like this a missing piece in my life. I was in campus at the time, already married with my firstborn. She was a few months old at the time. And I really felt like this is not the life that I want to live. There's something else out there for me. But then there's also that mom guilt that comes in. I would feel very guilty for wanting more. I didn't have a house help, so it was just me and my baby all the time. So in my head, I'm thinking, wow, getting outside the house would mean I need to get a house help. What about my baby? Is this fair to my baby that I want more? How about my husband? You know, I'm supposed to be in the house taking care of the home. And so, yeah, I questioned myself a lot about those things. So I remember one time on my birthday, I promised myself on my birthday, I'm going to give myself a gift. And that is going to be of a life changing, just changing my life basically. So I reached out to Wairimu on Facebook and I told her I'm interested. I saw her GBS interview and I was interested. So we did our first meeting at Milele, the one in South B, South C? Yeah. So I remember that day I felt so good because the first time in my life I felt like someone actually understands and there's not that guilt for wanting someone understands that you are a mom, you are a wife, but at the same time, you still want more for yourself. Because I think that was my biggest struggle, because you would share with your fellow moms and they'd be like, ah, Pana, you should be very grateful to the fact that you have a child. Not so many people have children. Just stay home, take care of your baby first. And then maybe when baby starts school, then you can leave the house. So yeah, that is where we started the journey with Wairimu. And I think it's worth mentioning the first time I did the class, I was heavily pregnant with my second. I have done her class twice. I have repeated the class. So the first time I did the class, I was pregnant. I was a wife at the time. And I had my firstborn already. But the second time I did Spark Your Brand, I was a separated woman and now with both babies. I had issues in my marriage, which I'm going to discuss a little later. And yeah, so I had to leave my marriage, go back to my mom's place, just to have that time to reflect, to think about my life. And I really thank God because it came at a very timely time. It was a God ordained time for me because it was a time when I was very frustrated. Number one, I have gone back home with my two children. And I had not mentioned to you guys that at the time after getting my babies, I put everything on hold. Literally, I stopped going to school. I've told you guys I got married young. So I remember when my mom tried talking me out of the idea from don't get married now, you need to finish school first. I was like, see, I'll just continue with school. You know, being that little girl, madly in love, I've found this person. I did not even want to waste time, you know. So I told my mom I would continue school even in my marriage, but those limitations that I had for myself, and I was going through a lot of pain, both emotionally and physically, which later on I came to learn that they are self-inflicted wounds because I set the barriers for myself. Nobody set the barriers for me. So yeah, I did put my schooling on hold. All this time, my mom thought, because I was married for like 3 years before the separation, we had stayed together 3 years. There I am, always telling my mom, yeah. My mom asking me, school, how is school? Yeah, it's okay, telling lies here and there because you don't want to tell them that something along the way happened and I could not continue with school anymore. So yeah, one of the most humbling moments in my life, going back home with my 2 kids. I don't have an education. The way I felt at the time, I didn't have anything to show for my life. I'm a bright girl, by the way. I've always been a bright girl. I had scored very highly in my KCSE. Everybody expected that this girl, she will go on, do great things in life. So here I am, back to my parents' home, nothing to show, not education, not even a job, not nothing, just me and my babies and my clothes. So it was one of the most traumatizing. I never thought ever in my life that would happen to me. We always listen to people's stories. We see people and you're like, guy, the other one. But now it was happening to me. It was such a surreal moment. It was depressing to say the least. But I thank God for my family because they really did support me. Both my nuclear family and my extended family. My mom and my sister were always there. They provided the shoulder to cry on. And then my brother came in to just push me to do more. So I remember one time I was just at home with the kids. I was trying here and there to do a little bit of online jobs so that I can get something. And then my Remo calls me and she's like, hi, Wanjiru, I'm doing this Pack Your Brand. Would you be interested to do it one more time? So in my heart, I'm like, guy, okay. I had done this thing. I had seen some change, but only that I expected, when you decide to do something, sometimes you expect changes without you working on yourself. So the first time I did Spark Your Brand, it was more of, now I have done this, I'm doing this program, so it's going to work for me and my life is going to change. But I did not put in the work. And the work that was to be put in is me facing myself. Some people, I know there's so many people who know me from the ones who have joined the meeting. And I am one person who can be very defensive. So when you confront yourself, it means you tear down all the walls, all these things that you've put about yourself, the person you think you know. You just need to shed that person and face yourself head on. So that is the one thing I was not ready to do the first time. So when Wairimu said, come, let's do this class another time, it was quite a conflicting moment. But then I told God, if really you want me to do this, then just make a way. And God made a way and I started the class once again. So by the time I was starting the class, like I have told you guys, I was just at home, just doing those few online jobs here and there. But then in between the classes, I started knowing myself again. It felt like God is showing me who I really am. Because there's quite a big difference between who I thought I was and who I really am. Because who you think you are is you judge according to what people say about you, your papers academically, the ideas you have in your head, but who you really are is more of what God intended. For me, quite an eye opener. And I thank God because it made me now a confident person. There before, like I said, I was a bright girl, those are the things that I used to identify with: my academics. I do good at school, I thought I was cool. You get, at the time you're still young, so you identify yourself as this beautiful, to be fierce, all these things. So by the time I'm going back to my mom, I don't have all these things. Number one, I'm back home with my two children, which is not really a good thing, especially in this African society. So you're like, oh my God, I am not even a girl anymore. Sasa nimekuwa mama. So that's the things that I identified or I pegged my identity on. I felt like all of them were now shaken, you know? So I had to now start redefining who I am, getting to know that my value as a person is not pegged on the things like my academics, my marriage, especially the marriage part, because sometimes as Africans, we are really
Hi, Wanjiru. Okay.
identify with husband.
Mhm.
But I really do thank God because I was able now to calm down to myself and now just face myself, Wajiro, and get to know about who I really am in Christ. Because I think that is the most important thing. When you know who you are in Christ, when you know that seasons change, you're now, I am now, at the time I was a separated woman at home with my kids, no source of income, no nothing. Even at that time, I am still useful. And I think that is the thing that almost pushed me off the wall. Because at some point, I even considered like ending everything because there's this life I had thought about, this who I thought I would be by the time I'm 25. And now here I am, 25 back home with your children. You have nothing to show. And I felt useless to say the least. And I felt like I'm a burden to everybody. Here you are, you're back to your parents, you're depending on your brother, your sister, I felt really powerless. But now getting to know my identity once again and getting to know that God still loves me as I am. And he is not interested in the education, in dream me as the husband. He wants me, Eve, the Eve, Wanjiru herself. That for me gave me a lot of hope in life. So after doing the program, my brother came in when there was this lockdown and guys were told to go back. So my brother works a bit far in Dagahale. So he happened to be coming just before the lockdown, he happened to be coming for holiday. And then they were told not to go back to work. So here we are, my brother is at home. And he saw me doing those online jobs. I would sleep very late, wake up very early. And then the baby, my young one was still very little. So I had sometimes to breastfeed when I'm typing things, not even having enough sleep. So my brother he asked me, what do you really want in this life? Is this the kind of life you want? And I was very defensive. I said, no, this is not the life I want, but what do you want me to do? And my brother said, what do you want to become in future? And I said, um, I want to be a marketing consultant. Then he said, okay, we are going to start sending marketing proposals to different companies and see if they're going to take you. And I was like, oh my God, how do I do this? I felt so scared. And I felt like he was being unfair to me because he knows I am not yet done with school. Oh, I did go back to school, by the way. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. So when I went back home, my mom pushed me. She was like, whatever is remaining in school, you have to do it, you have to finish, because this is the only thing I can give you as a parent. You cannot always be dependent, but when you have your education, at least it gives you somewhere to stand on. So yeah, I did go back to school. I did the pending exams, the pending units. So here I am again. I am done with the units, I'm done. And then I am now just relaxing at home. So this is when my brother comes up with that idea of just sending out the marketing proposals. It was like, you're passionate about it. I've seen you do it and you're really good at it. Why not trust yourself and start? So I was so scared and I called Wairimu. I told her, Wairimu, now this is what I'm up to. And she said, go for it. So that day, um, we were almost not in talking terms with my brother, because he really put his foot down and he said, you know what, I am not going to watch you waste yourself over here. You need to do something. You need to get up and do something. So he said, we have a relative who has a business, and he said, tomorrow, get ready, prepare a proposal, a PowerPoint. I'm going to give you a projector. I'm going to give you a lift. I'm going to buy you some drinks and some snacks. We're going to have our relatives sit down and some of his board members, and you're going to do a pitch for them. Wow. That was now the time that it became quite evident to me that I'm actually going to do this, and there's no going back. So I thank God, because my brother really supported me through it. We went, did the pitch. Okay, the first time my uncle was like, oh, okay, what do you have to offer? And that is one of the most disheartening, not disheartening, but a question that can really throw you off your balance if you do not really know what you're bringing to the table. And I remember the first time we were doing the program, Wairimu asked me, what are you bringing to the table? And oh my God, that was a difficult question. Because for a mom, if you're staying at home, you're not bringing any financial, you're not bringing something in terms of finances. Everybody assumes you're only there to be fed and just to bring babies. So for some reason, when you're asked what you're bringing to the table, you don't know. But I thank God, because after you have come to realize who you are, that whether you have the money or not, there's still something you're bringing to the table. It is that the contribution that you're making in the house, the talking, your intelligence, your brilliance, that is also something that you're bringing to the table, which you can't quantify money-wise. And actually being a mom, making sure your kids are well prepared, they have nice meals, they have faith, all that, that is something that you're bringing to the table, only that it doesn't have the financial, yani you can't quantify financially. So when I went to that pitch and I was asked, what are you bringing to the table? Now this is where I just felt shaken and I almost went out. But my brother who was seated there said, what are you bringing to the table, Eva? And now I had to just come up and tell him that I am going to make your business visible. Like, I am going to help you be at the center of where your customers are. And basically that's just marketing. And from then on, I got confidence in myself. He allowed me in. I stayed there for 6 months. Then after the 6 months, my brother again comes in the picture. I said I would not want to continue with the employment. My kids started becoming sick, so it was quite challenging with the job. So I told them I need to stay at home, take care of the babies. And my brother was like, yeah, you need to stay at home, but you're not the first one with babies, so that is not an excuse. If you need to be closer to the kids, because the work is in Kiambu, I used to go all the way from Utawala to Kiambu. He said, if you need to get something a bit closer here, then we're going to look for something. And then he tells me, had you done internship at school? Yeah, I had done the first one, yes, but it was not, I hadn't really done it out of the way you'd say you have learned something from somewhere. I only did it for the sake of completing my coursework. So this time round, my brother tells me, you're going to go to your school, go get another attachment letter, tell them you want to repeat, you get another date, and we start looking for somewhere else. Oh my good Lord. Are I going to face our head of department? And this is something I should have done. I believe I haven't told you guys a course that I should have done, should have completed by 2016 is I am completing this year. Those are 5 years later. 5 years later, I am still struggling. So it's 2021. I am going back to my HOD to tell him This is something I should have done like 5 years ago. I need you to give me another letter so that I can go do it now. And I remember sitting down with him, and he's not usually a very kind person. I think it's because of dealing with so many people. He's not a very pleasant person to deal with. So he told me, give me a very good reason why I should give you another letter, which you should have done this thing 5 years ago. And I told God, oh my good Lord, I do not want to be at loggerheads with this man. I do not want to argue. Just tell me what to say. So I told the man I would love to do it again so that I can get more skills. I feel like the first time I did it, I did not have the experience I have now. But if I do it now, it's going to be very beneficial. And I thank God because he was able to give me another letter, and I applied different places. And I finally landed at KPLC. It was such a big deal for me because the first time I did it in just a friend's farm. And actually we had a local arrangement with a friend, the way she would fill my logbook and then just send the details. Because again, I was in the house with the baby, so I don't have time to go for internship. Yeah, so this time around, getting to KPLC and going into an actual company that it has a lot of employees, they have structures, they have their own way of doing things. For me, that was it was a very big thing. And I remember when I told some of my few friends that I've gotten an attachment at KPLC, they were like, "How now? Do you know someone there?" I said, "No, I just applied," and it was such a God thing because before I got my invitation, I had applied to so many other places, and you have a deadline by the end of May. I mean, by the beginning of May, you're supposed to have found somewhere. So I almost gave up on it again, but God showed up for me. And just when I came from an interview at another company, and they told me, no, we can't take you. They said you're something to do with their company values and my values. So when I went home and I was just telling my parents, my mom and my siblings, the way I did not make it in that company, oh, sijui what, and an email came through, and it was a confirmation from KPLC that I am one of the successful applicants. I really thanked God. And that is what I have been up to for the last 3 months. So I did my internship.
Sorry, Eva, as you settle back. Ladies, I hope she's being an encouragement to you. And I have even a few questions for Wanjiru, even as she comes, especially because at the beginning of her story, she said how getting married young was a choice. I don't know what you guys think about that conversation. Yeah, what do you think? Anybody can unmute themselves and just tell us that. Yeah. We have many. Thank you so much, ladies, for coming. I don't know if MW and QCOM are gentlemen or ladies, but welcome. I think she's dropped out. But what have you gotten so far from her story? Anybody can unmute and just share. And would you do, and has anything resonated with you? So just unmute yourself and just share. Anyone? She said she has some friends here. So what were you thinking as a friend? And you're seeing this lady with a lot of potential is going in a different direction. Anyone can just unmute and give an answer. Okay. And welcome Lydia, Fatma on YouTube as well. Yeah. There's something else she said, except for the part about choice, is how sometimes as women, when you stay at home, is how people think that you have no contribution you're making to your family, because it's like money is the measure of contribution. And you can write in the comments as well. Even if I don't read your name, I can read your comment. If you unmuting, you don't want to unmute, feel free to write in the comments. But I don't know if you've gone through that, but I know personally when I left a good job, just to go into full-time employment, and yeah, it wasn't taken well by everybody, because again, sometimes our decisions, some we make them out of selfishness, some because God has called us, some just because of pride. But at the end of the day, I don't know about you ladies, but I feel it's so important that even if you're home, even if you don't have a financial contribution, the fact that for Wanjiru and others, you've made a sacrifice to stay home and take care of your children. I keep saying there's a cost that is not being paid in the house. So what's that cost that is being covered because you're home, like some savings of sort? So Wanjiru was saying, and you can unmute yourself, sorry for that. I was asking a question, is how is it that when you're young, you can make a choice that you're home full time? Yeah, like what is that you are expecting? What's the bliss you are expecting to find because of staying home full time?
Let me just say, when I became a mom, I shifted all my energies, I forgot about myself. And it was basically
before that, when you were giving your story, you said that you were excited to just like go into this relationship. Like that girl, what was she thinking? Even before you got pregnant, you must have had some. What was that?
Yes.
What were you dreaming about?
So I definitely saw my husband and I having very successful businesses, a power couple, and we will do this, we will start businesses. I saw myself as a successful career woman. So I actually remember I told you I wanted to be a motivational speaker. So I would always see myself telling women, the way I used to see Julie Gishoro talk to women and tell them you can have a career, you can still have a family life and thrive. So I used to see myself like that, telling women that you can do everything, you can still be a wife and still thrive in your career, so that's the idea I had until now. The reality of things now, it came.
Okay, but if you could do life again, would you repeat? What would you do different at that young age?
I think what I would do differently is believe in myself more. I would believe in myself more, and I would not use my children as an excuse. Because from the word go, the support from my husband was there. And he actually was one of the people who would try and vouch for me, like, you need to do something else, you need to get out there, you need to go to school, you need to, you need to do something for yourself. But because I had that belief in my head that I need to be there for and with my children 24/7, because I need to watch them grow, as if you look at them like this and you watch them grow, I think that is something I would do differently.
Yeah. And then the other comment that you made that I wrote down, you were saying I was a bright girl. That's what you're saying. I was a bright girl.
I am a bright girl.
Yeah, so I say, because sometimes
I am a bright girl.
Because the assumption is bright people don't stay at home with their children.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So and I remember, I know you're not the only one who there are other bright mothers, very intelligent moms who've made a conscious choice to stay home and take care of their children. So what advantage is there for a mom? I mean, because while you regret many things, not pursuing your dreams, what was the advantage of being home with your babies?
One of the things that I really love, and right now I actually do not regret it, but I thank God for the opportunity to be with my babies, is the fact that you have a chance to directly impart the values that you believe in your children. Because I look at it this way: anytime you have a new person taking care of your child, because I've had experience with house girls, and sometimes you need to hire like 10 times. So each person comes with their new values, their new beliefs, and because you're not there, and when you're very busy, sometimes your kids may be confused. They may get values that you necessary on a normal day you would not be very things that you do not embrace, if I may put it that way. But now being with my kids, with four and with, I thank God because I was able to instill values in them, the values that I think are important. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, because I think sometimes we underestimate the power of a mom. If you could, it would be nice. I remember because of being a school owner, when we used to talk with moms who are stay-at-home moms, when they bring their children, they're like, "I'm just a mom," and I'm telling them that this job I'm doing is easier than the job you're doing, because I think the society thinks being a full-time mom is like the lowest of lowest jobs that anyone could do. So the fact that you can still set values for your children, being a stay-at-home mom, and then pursue also something that you like is very important. So you also mentioned mom guilt, and for the ladies who are on Zoom right now, feel free to write in the chat any questions or comments to encourage Wanjiru or to ask her anything. And also those who are on Facebook, we have a few people who are logging in there. You talked, how does mom guilt look like? It's a name that we use, it's a buzzword almost nowadays, but in real life, when your husband has gone to work, you're alone with the child or children, how does mom guilt look like for real, for real?
So mom guilt feels like you're being unfair to your children. Like, for example, if you desire to leave the house and maybe go do something out there, and you start feeling, oh yeah, what about my children? So you find yourself starting to tell yourself, I love my children very much, and I'm very grateful for them taking care of me.
Wanjiru?
Children and being
Yeah.
them. You feel like blaming them for situation as it
Mm-hmm.
is right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And so what were you doing then? You feel guilty and then you stay home even though you want to go out.
Yes, I would feel very guilty because I want something else instead of being grateful because I have children and to take care of my children. So basically, I was very depressed by the, if I may put it that way. It got to a level where my immediate family and my husband noticed, because I would break down a lot. I would break down because I felt like there's really something that I miss about my life. And if I try to share like with other friends, they'll be like, Sasa wewe si shukuru Mungu that you have a supportive husband who's providing everything and that you're there with your children. Yes, I was grateful, but I felt like there's really something amiss. I wanted more for myself, but I felt guilty for wanting more. So that would make me very, very sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you also mentioned just now, you've mentioned about your spouse.
Yeah.
How was he like? Because if you are sad or depressed, it means you're
Yeah.
also showing up. He's like,
Yes.
I don't know who you are. Like,
Yes.
how did your own
Actually,
insecurities play out in your marriage?
um, I think I was a toxic person, if I may put it that way. And he really tried to cope with me and my roller coaster. Because it was, I remember when we would meet and I would just break down and break down and break down. But right now, if I look at those things, it is because I was bitter with myself for not taking action for my life, and I would blame it on other people. At some point, I remember telling him, I put my life on hold for you. So I expected him to do the same. Like, I expected him not to, if it is going to, because he would go for short courses. And, when he tries to tell me to, there's this course that is coming up, maybe do you want to take it? I would feel like, do you think I am really, trying to defend myself? Because I am at home with the children. You're supposed to understand that I can't do anything else. So I was very bitter with life, bitter with him. Yet I who was doing myself the disservice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think what happens is sometimes when we are dissatisfied, like you still want to be a mom, but you also
Yeah.
want to pursue your own thing. So
Yeah.
if there's a Wanjiru out there who is in that exact place, like
Yeah.
they don't want to give out their children to be taken care of
Yes.
because I know how to do this, but I still
Yeah.
have dreams I want to pursue. So a mom who is in that dilemma, what
Yeah.
advice would you give them so that they don't reach that depressive space?
What I would tell them is to try and integrate. Because by the time I started living, I tried to balance, but you really can't. Something has to get, you can't always give 50 to work and 50 to your children, but you can always try and integrate. If you're just in the house, there's a hobby you have that can give you at least not just the financial aspect, but it also makes you feel alive. Because, doing something outside from the cooking, the cleaning, and changing diapers and changing clothes and bathing the small humans and keeping them entertained, you also need something that makes you come alive. If it's doing
Yeah, the moms who, yeah. Wanjiru, we are losing you a little bit. Yeah,
crafts, you can
try again now. But for those who are, if you're able to, you can unmute yourself, Wanjiru. For those who are here and also in the Facebook page, if there's anything that is inspiring you from Wanjiru's story or a comment to encourage her, please just write because you've shown up. It would be nice for us to just know that there is some value to you investing time to be here. So yeah, make sure you do that. Yeah, you were talking, Wanjiru, just continue.
Yeah, so I was just saying about integration.
Yeah.
You find a way to integrate your life with your children's life. You can try do anything from home that will at least take you away from just, because the just a mom, that just a mom is what kills most people.
Yeah.
If you can find something that will at least an hour or two in a day that takes you away from just momming, then that's fine. Yeah.
And then the other thing that you said that was important is your mom kept asking you about are you in school, but then you lie.
Yeah.
And then still in the end, you still ended up asking for her help or her offering you help. Is what's
Yes.
the importance then of a strong support system for you, and what happens to now the mom or the lady who doesn't have a support system?
A support system is very, very important. And for people who maybe feel like they don't have a support system, just reach out. There are maybe friends, look for mentors like the way I did. They come in very instrumental, because even with family, there are things you are still going to hold back. And sometimes they won't be objective in when they're handling you, if I may put it that way. But when you have someone who has the objectivity, someone who is not afraid to scold you if need be, someone who will see you going in the wrong direction and not be emotional about it and tell you, emotions aside, this path that you're taking, that is not a good path. I think that's a very important thing. So if maybe your nuclear family and your extended family is not that supportive, find yourself a mentor, find yourself a coach, a friend, a teacher. Just reach out to someone. Always seek help and accept help when it comes your way. Because sometimes we may be too proud. You're in that bubble, you're in denial, you don't even see if there's anything wrong. You might be in a bubble and you don't want to accept help. So when help comes your way, please accept it. When you need to ask for help, be humble enough to do it. It takes more courage to ask for help than fighting on your own. Yeah.
And that's an interesting comment, because the assumption is staying is the courageous thing and keeping quiet is the courageous thing. Being beaten up by your thoughts and staying down is the courageous thing, but it's the asking for help is the courageous things. Now, I want to follow up on this support system again, because especially friends. I love that I have friends who can call me out if I'm just going the wrong direction. Like, will I feel hurt? Definitely yes, but they'll call me out for it. Did you have friends who called you out when you're doing the wrong thing? And although you said you were defensive, you're with us, Wanjiru? Wanjiru, are we together? Okay, as Wanjiru is coming back, I think it's nice to have friends who call you out if you're going in the wrong direction, because there's no need of having friends who are just cheering you on even when you're going down. So do you have friends who just slapped you with with comments, not physically, but they were like, Wanjiru, we know you, like right now in the chat somebody says, Wanjiru, you have the potential. So friends who are seeing your potential, they are telling you this is not the Eve or the Wanjiru that we know. So how are you reacting to those truthful friends? And did you lose any friends by being headstrong, even though you're going down?
Yes. I think for me, those people were mostly my family, my nuclear family, and of course my husband. I think he was the first person who pointed out that this is not a person I used to know. And I really did get defensive about it. And I remember at some point I almost got to into conflict with my mom and my brother and my sister, because they could see there's something wrong with me, but I still insisted that I am okay. I am okay the way I am. I am happy, but in the real sense of the word, it was just me being defensive about everything. Yeah.
So then, go ahead.
I did lose a few of friends. I did lose a few friends, because when your friends are going on, they have finished school, you're just there. Definitely you now do not have that common ground that used to unite you, the career paths that you used to take about, so your life takes a different trajectory, so your friends go on dropping off one by one.
So like for you, for example, because now you're on the other side of action, so there's a mom right now, she has friends. Some are encouraging her to stay on because uko na mzee, uko na watoto, what else do you want? But there's someone who is just quiet. If you were to give 3 things, for example, that, like, I wish somebody told me 1, 2, 3. What are the 1, 2, 3s that you tell them? Number 1, like that.
So number 1, I wish someone had told me early enough that it's okay to want more. It's okay to want more for yourself. Number 2, I wish someone would have told me early enough that it's not yet too late. Because the moment you stay away from school for so long, I remember the first time I left the house, I had anxiety. Like if someone walks too close to me, I would freeze. I couldn't cross roads. for me, it was more like coming up again, because if I needed to go to clinic, my husband is there to take me. He would take me to Soko. He would drive me everywhere. There's no point I am going in a matatu or I'm alone walking around in the streets. There would be very few times. So by the time I am leaving, now I'm coming out of the house now, it's like I feel anxious to cross the roads. I am anxious. You feel like you're not safe. And it's only because I did not, like, I put that restriction on myself for not just going out there. So if someone had told me early, someone who had, I wish someone had told me that it is okay for you to want more. It is possible for you to just go out there and be yourself, and there's nothing wrong with you for being a mom. Because I think even the part that I got married young, got babies early, at some point you feel like, oh my God, I did something wrong. And if I had someone to tell me at the time, the choices, I made that choice, I need to contend with it. And it is still a good path, and it was still God ordained, because I feel like my children also quite contributed to me wanting to change my thinking, change the way I see life. So it is not really a mistake. Having babies was not really a mistake. Yeah, because I think that also really it puts down many moms who get babies early, at the times when they did not expect. And also expectations management, because I think when you manage your expectations, it saves you a lot of emotional heartache. Because the expectations I had of marriage, the expectations, I thought momming was beautiful. I always wanted girls, so I thought it would just be me and my girls combing their hair, and then your babies come and they're like twice like you. They're hard-headed, and they know what they want and they won't compromise, and now you have to learn how to deal with that. That is also not an easy thing. So that expectations management, just to not expect too much, but keep trying, keep at it, keep working on yourself and on your children, and being grateful for what you have. Because sometimes you're too blinded by where you're going until you forget to be grateful for the space that you're in. Like, being a stay-at-home mom is not such a bad thing. If you think about it, it's not such a bad thing. It's only that I was too obsessed with where I want to go that I forgot to enjoy the moment I have with my children. Right now, my first has gone to school and she doesn't want to be smothered. She doesn't want me around her every other time. And I'm thinking, oh my good Lord, when did this happen? But when you learn to appreciate, to not be fixated on where I am going, where you're going, where you wanted to be, these are the goals I had, but you appreciate where you are, you realize that in time, things just fall into place, but you have to keep working. You have to keep working.
Yeah. So you actually have some encouraging comments from Zoom. You have, you're a fighter, go girl. So remember that, and this is not just for Wanjiru, it's for any other mom who is in just that battle of the mind where you don't know, am I being selfish? And thank you for those nuggets you shared. On Facebook, we have Fatma who said, gratitude is very important. Precisely, it's important to manage expectations. We have Lucy who said, we need to create our own legacy. Sometimes we forget legacy is not mashamba, it's not, as mothers, the fact that you're raising your children and giving those values to your children, that's legacy that we are creating as mothers. So she continues that we need to create our own legacy better than we found in life, being courageous and a go-getter. Keep it up, Evelyn. Thank you. So you have, we don't know that our stories, even through those places of pain into places of victory, that we are actually encouraging other people to also be better versions of yourself. So I'm so grateful that you have also continued to share your story. But I want to pursue another angle, because you are a mom, and then you started feeling some feelings of I want more, and then now you've actually pursued some of your, I know you're not where you want, but you've pursued things that you love. Do you think you're a better mom now than you were in your sad state, or where you were just feeling unfulfilled? Do you think, how do you feel you also evolved as a mother because you pursued your why and things that are important to you?
I think I have really, my children are the beneficiaries of this, because children in most cases become the victims of our own battles, because you find yourself projecting towards your child, because this child is voiceless. They can't come back at you. They can't ask you, why are you hitting me? So they become the victims. You become very distant from them. You become a spiteful mom. Any slight things that happen, you want to spank, you know. So right now, I am more conscious in my parenting. I am present, like literally present. You know, sometimes you can be present, but you're not there. To be there physically doesn't mean you're present. But now I am in touch with myself. I'm in touch with my emotions, and so I can connect with my children better. I love this version of mom that I have become. Yeah, because I am happier. I am more fulfilled as a mom, and I now understand that I should be grateful for this opportunity that I have to be with them, to take care of them, because it's not going to be there forever. When I become that CEO, they won't be seeing me as much as they are seeing me right now. So yeah, it has definitely made me a better mom. It has made me a better wife. I am able to, because you know, sitting down and just confronting yourself and seeing it's like Eve revealing to Eve your weaknesses, and then someone else pointing them out. Now you come to the point where when someone says you have done this, and you know yourself, you know your weaknesses, you're able to calm down and apologize and try to fix it, as opposed to living in a bubble of who you think you are. When someone points something wrong about you, you become defensive and maybe turn the tables around on the other person. So yeah, generally, my relationships, with my children, with my husband, with my siblings, has definitely changed for the better.
Fatma, who is actually an emotional wellness coach, and she does that. She actually deals with adults who are traumatized as children to heal, because sometimes we don't know that our stuck is actually not beneficial to our children as mothers, and the better versions of ourselves we are, the better our children are. So she's saying absolutely, our children are the victims of our hearts, frustrations, disappointments. So I feel like for a mother who is not ready to take the bolder step like you did, to just ask for help in a bigger way, ask yourself, am I frustrated? Am I hurt? Why am I hurt? Why am I frustrated? So she's also telling you she's very proud of you, living in your present and being intentional about raising our children. So I usually say being a mother is actually a calling. And you'll stand before God and he'll say, I gave you Lulu and Ruby. Are they better versions of themselves? Have they been able to fulfill the purpose I created them from? Or did you suppress their calling because you are, being selfish and just thinking about yourself and how the world is conspiring against you? I want to pursue something, because when we were preparing for this conversation, I was like, are you sure you want to talk about your separation? But I think it's nice for us to know that part of, without going into, don't say anything you wouldn't say if your husband is not here, but how did your playing small play a part in the separation?
I think it contributed 99.9% of it, because like I said earlier, I was very dissatisfied
I
with
didn't
myself.
expect a huge percentage like that, but okay, well.
Yeah, after evaluating myself, I just realized I was the problem. Because number one, I was very dissatisfied with myself. And so because I'm dissatisfied with myself, I am bitter. And all the bitterness, I project it on him. Like I said earlier, I expected him to put his life on hold the way I did mine, And it's not that we sat down and we were like, hey, now you're going to put your life on hold, It is something that I made a decision to. And I feel like also I just let things slide, because I would be a yes person. Yes, 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 yes. And if it's not a yes, it's an extremely defensive person, which really makes it hard to relate with. Relating with a person who is always on the defensive side is not easy. So I actually kind of commend him for keeping up with that for quite some time, because it was a significant amount of time. So my playing small led my life to where it was. I was always bitter, always defensive, lost touch with everything, basically. Lost touch with everything. I was just there and not there. So my playing small, I blame my...
Go ahead.
Playing small.
Yes, Wanjiru, it's okay.
Yeah, so yes, 100% or 99.9%, my playing small did contribute to everything, because remember, he fell in love with an ambitious person. We always shared ideas, intellectually stimulating person, and then now here I am, a totally different person, not contributing to even conversations, because you feel like you need to withdraw, Yeah, so it really did strain our marriage. Yeah.
Okay. And so where are you now at?
So where I'm at now is, like I said before, we are relating better. Oh, I hadn't told them that I went back. I went back into my marriage. So yeah, it's been a better journey, because when you're able to face yourself, you don't have the internal wars. It becomes easier even for you to communicate with others. Like in my case, my significant other, we can communicate better. When he says there's this you're doing that is wrong, I am able to actually
acknowledge it. Wanjiru? Yeah. Okay, I think she's hanging a little. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're able to acknowledge when you're wrong without feeling like you're being personally attacked. Yeah.
Yes, because now you get to a point where you are at peace with yourself. You are at peace with who you are. So if you're at peace internally, then even with other people, you are at peace, and you're able to relate with people in a better manner as compared to when you're having your internal wars, because someone would just maybe make a innocent comment, and because that thing actually hurts you, you really feel like, oh, this person was directing that at me, they were attacking me, you know. But when you're at peace with yourself, you're at peace with who you are, you become at peace with everybody else, and it's easier to relate with other people. Yeah.
Okay. So what's where is Wanjiru 5 years from now? Where are you going?
So Wanjiru 5 years from now is an entrepreneur. I'll have started my marketing consultancy. I'll have joined the marketing body of Kenya. And I'm definitely a conscious mom who is really intentional about the parenting. and basically a mom who can help my children become who God made them to be. So if that is, I think that is my biggest prayer, that in my insecurities, I don't become a stumbling block to my children, that I limit them to what I see, what I am, or what I have gone through, that I can actually encourage my children to be who they are fearlessly, and to love themselves, and to know that the way they are, it's by God's design, because I believe God created us the way we are by design.
It is. Yeah, oh, that's so powerful. And we can only pray that God grants the desires of your heart. You have a classmate, Rosita, who says, hello, classmate. I'm really happy for you. Keep going. So you have a lot of cheerleaders. You know, in our world, we love cheering each other. So
yes.
You also have, you know, cheerleaders outside the audacious mom tribe. So keep at it. But now I want to, as we are coming to an end, because I want to honor the time of those who have shown up. And if you have another question or comment, I don't want to close you out. We have about 10 minutes. I want you to speak to a mother who is in the position your mother was all those years ago, who is saying, I found myself a boyfriend. I'm sorry, mom, I've left. How would you talk to that mom who is where your mom was a few years ago, where the daughter is like, this is the life, mom. You made your life. Me, this is my life. I love this guy and I'm moving in with him. What would you tell that mother? How would you want her to be a mother to that girl who is just clearly naive?
I would want that mom to be supportive, because I really thank God for my mom. She was supportive. She did not throw me out, but she tried to bring both of us, my husband and I, close to her. So I really give her a thumbs up for that, and that is what I would advocate other moms for, because sometimes you realize people just bond because of different things. Maybe for me, I was looking for my dad, because I lost my dad a few years, I think a year before that. And so you find solace in now this other person. So I would just say, be supportive to your children. Sometimes you allow them to make mistakes, because it is through those mistakes or things that we might term as mistakes, but sometimes they are God ordained steps. Because I love my life, the way my life turned out. I love it, and I think I wouldn't have done it differently, because in all this, God has always shown me, this is what I'm trying to teach you. And a friend of mine once told me, the lessons will keep repeating themselves until you finally get it. So if it is from God,
thank you, Nelly, for saying great one. Thank you. I acknowledge your comments.
It's emotionally and just physically.
Okay, thank you. And whenever you're talking to your mom, just tell her, just because she stood by you, she doesn't know how many others she's encouraged. I'm also raising daughters, so it's nice for us to also know when we're in that position. Okay, so now I want you to talk to the husband who could listen to this, whose wife is going through those moments of insecurity and I don't know myself, and you're disturbing me, and you're continuing with life and me, I'm stuck. What would you say to that husband? Because we have some spouses who listen to our these talks. What would you tell us, a husband who is having a wife who is just in that place?
I would tell them to be there for their wives. If you can, just get counseling for them, because I think counseling is the first step to helping you to just unpack your emotions. Sometimes you need to unpack everything, and then you start packing them again in a more tidy, organized manner, because motherhood in itself is not easy. We know the emotional aspects, the psychological aspects of having babies. It's very heavy. You sometimes postpartum depression, your emotions are everywhere, your hormones are running. So sometimes a mom just needs to slow down. You just need to slow down, just unpack everything. So as a husband, just help her unpack all those emotions, get to try understand her and also get her some help. But be there, especially emotionally, just be present emotionally for her. Yes,
that's so important. We have Lucy Wangoi, she joined a bit late, but she says she loves the conversation and will definitely catch up. She must, Lucy, you must. She shared some so that you understand why she's giving such wisdom. It's from her story. She's saying she's also, being defensive is such a clear, like a red flag, isn't it? That you're going through some turmoil within. So it's nice to deal with, why am I being defensive? And, just asking yourself, is it true what they are telling me? If it's not true, then it's okay to defend yourself. But if already you are thinking that about yourself, sometimes when people are confirming what you're seeing in yourself, then that's a time, it's a red flag. So you need to change. There are things. And then we have Lydia, who says great bouts of wisdom, and thank you so much for sharing. By the way, Wanjiru, I have no doubt that you'll be a good motivational speaker and encourager to people, because you've already done that in the short time. You see how time goes so fast. You've talked for 1.5 hours, and I thank you so much. So part of the reason we had said we'll tell people why you're in the car and not in the house is your baby is in the house.
My babies are in the house. I had to hide from them. Because they wouldn't let me do this.
It's true, because I think moms, you either hide or stay in the toilet. Although when they are younger, they accompany you there because you're like, But thank you so much for sharing, and I hope even those who have joined us here live, and those who are on Facebook, those who will watch replays, I'm sure they're encouraged by your story. And regardless of where you are, as long as you're stuck, it's important for you to rally around your support system, ask yourself those hard questions. Thank you for you've said 5 things which I want us to close with. Number 1, it's okay as a mother to want more. It's not selfish, right? It's okay to want more. It is not too late. For, like you heard, I was on a journey going towards 40s, and I'm like, what is Wairimu's dream? So it's never too late. You found it when you're in your 20s, so I thank God for that. You said it's not a mistake. It's not a mistake to get it back, because you had dropped and then you went back to things that you loved. It's not too late, because I think even for the way you are saying, you are happy that God took a situation which you created for yourself and he turned it around into a blessing. That's not bad. Even when you have a child outside of the marriage, it's like God turns that around into a blessing. And as we started this conversation at the beginning, we said that God says, I will guide you, I will advise you. So even when we take a wrong turn, if you stop, listen to his leading, he will take you into a place of blessings. We said manage expectations. There is what you dreamt, and then there's the reality, and then you can't reverse everything. So what do you do with now the reality of how things is? And I think I loved this number 5, be grateful. Like, don't miss out the goodness of now, looking for tomorrow. It's the now. You have babies, like you're saying, your daughter is like, mom, now they are talking, really, mom? There's a time they were your whole world, and here they are going into, being independent of you. So even as mothers, I keep saying, any lady who comes to my tribe, I know you love your children. I know you, for those who are married, I know you love your spouse, but when you come into a community of mothers, we come as women. I come as Wairimu. I don't come as Mama Nani. Wanjiru comes as Wanjiru, not as Mama, isn't it? So that you tap into when God created you, apart from being a mother, he had other roles, whether it's in the marketplace or whether it's actually being a stay-at-home mother. It's not a crime. I remember having a house help years ago who told me her calling is to the small babies who can't talk. They're so small.
Yes.
That's her calling. If your children grow, she leaves. She goes to the next mother with a small baby. And so that was her calling. So being able to stay at home is really a huge calling. And so every mother who is here, every mother who is on the live on Facebook, every mother who will watch the replay, just know that God already created you with a very huge task, not just being a mother or a wife or a daughter or a sister or a friend. There's work that you are designed to do. And so don't leave that out. For Wanjiru, she sought help from a mentor. Is it everybody's thing? Not necessarily, but there are so many other things. I learned from Facebook before I engaged my coach. There's reading books. So don't also feel like you have to go for expensive things. Start where you are with what you have. And for those who are joining now, I had said I have a free masterclass. If you want to go and watch and just stir your thinking, it's completely free. You just need to register. Go to www.theaudacitymentor.com and you will find the look for the Life Redesign Starter Kit Masterclass, and there it will ignite some questions, especially if you're feeling stuck. You need to start getting unstuck. You only need bundles or Wi-Fi and you can be able to get started. Wanjiru, what are your closing remarks? Because you're the one who got us here. It's nice to hear what are your closing remarks.
So I would just love to encourage everybody to just pursue actively to pursue themselves. Before pursuing anybody else, anything else, pursue yourself. Search yourself. Allow God to introduce you to yourself. There's a conversation that we had. I mean, it was in one of the classes about dear God and John. So there's a John who feels like he's so broken and he runs to God and says, God, I'm broken. I need you to fix me. And God says, I'm not going to fix you. And he says, but I am falling off. And God says, because some of the parts that are falling off from you, you don't actually need them. So sometimes in your point of brokenness, in your point of when things are falling apart, you just need to take a break. Let God to just introduce you to yourself, that the person that you're becoming, because life is about becoming other than being. When you become, it's a process. And a process, the finest of things go through processes, but shortcuts will just get you there. And at some point you will need to go back again and face yourself. So just do it as early as you can. Face yourself. Pursue yourself actively. Pursue what God designed you to do. And that's the only way you can have fulfillment. Aside from the money, aside from anything else, there's just that fulfillment that will come from knowing this is what God created me to do, and this is what I am doing. It's something that cannot be compared to.
Oh, those are such gems. I love pursue actively what God created you to do. Such powerful words, Wanjiru.
Anything else?
Yeah, go ahead if you're back. Go ahead. Are you there? So let me be reading. Rosemary says, wow, kindly share this, just joining. I love the discussion. Rosemary, this this recording will be there on the Facebook, so don't worry. So you can just rewatch it once we are done. And Fatma also says, unpack and recreate your story. So yeah, I mean, God has, I keep saying this, your story has the clues to where God is leading you. You just need to be still and you'll be so surprised at what God is communicating for you to do. So sorry, you got cut off earlier, Wanjiru, so you can just finish what we didn't hear.
So I think I had finished, but let me just repeat it. What I was saying is you need to pursue yourself. You need to face yourself and get to know why you love the things you love, why you are the way you are, and to just know yourself in a different way. Get to know who God says you are, because that's the most important thing. and getting to know your purpose. And the moms out there, just to remind you, we are just custodians of our children. God has just given us a platform to raise them and to enable them to be who God wants them to be. Let us not try to make them little versions of ourselves. We just allow them to be who God made them to be. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's an awesome conclusion. I'm not going to add any more gems. I just want to put a shameless plug, moms. So the course she's talking about is called Discover Your Voice and Calling. It's a 6-week program that I run. And so if you feel like you're in that space ready, like Wanjiru, to just discover what did God create me to do, please reach out to me. I had shared at the top of this conversation my contacts, so you can just rewind and start again. I had put them on a slide, so you'll be able to see that. But it's been such an honor of my life to meet Wanjiru's and other moms for the last 7 years who just say, you know, I'm done settling and now I want to become, as Wanjiru is saying. Wanjiru ends, very encouraging story, Wanjiru. We can't wait for you to come back as the marketing executive, sharing words of encouragement about where the Lord has led you. And for each of you ladies, I can only wish God's tremendous blessings on you, on your families, and on the work that He's assigned you. So thank you so much for joining us. We are only 3 minutes late from the time we promised. So yay. Yeah. So God bless you, keep you. And thank you, Wanjiru, and pass our regards to your husband and your children.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So see you, everybody. God bless you. Bye.